I'm Dan Hodgman. Today we're sitting down with Funded Trader Nick out of LA. Nick, how are you?
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Awesome, awesome. So, Nick, you are just getting going here, just past step two. You're one of our avid viewers on the forecast and recap. We love having you there. How have things been going for you?
So far, so good, I would say. I started trading in 2018. I wouldn't say trading. I just started looking at it as something new that I had no idea what it is about. Um, I took a course back in 2018. There was a long break in between, and I started seriously, started looking at it seriously in 2020. First January 2020, January 1st, 2020. And that was my start of combine, first combine, step one. And it was a very long road. It was a difficult road. Along the way, I learned so many things. Um, and the most important thing that I would say I've learned is self-discipline. That's the
Absolutely.
that's the one most important lesson that I've learned is that to work on myself first, then think about the other stuff.
Absolutely. So that's pretty incredible. Just getting going and at the beginning of the year, we're through 8 months now, and you've gone from that first trade execution to funded. And it sounds like you say it's a long road. That's pretty drastic of speed for growth in this industry. This is really difficult to do what we're doing. What are some of the things that you started focusing on to help kind of get through step one, step two of the trading combine?
Well, when I started the combine, I would say I didn't have much of an idea what I wanted to do. I did what I usually do. I did every mistake in the book, and I learned from them, hopefully. And I just started growing. I made a lot of mistakes. Which comes back to me again, which was I wasn't patient. I wasn't looking properly. I wasn't paying attention. But through working on myself, focusing on not to overtrade, not to uh, have FOMO, that got me to kind of focus more and trade a bit better. Um, and there is a lot that goes into it. As you know, it's a very, very difficult thing. At the same time, it's a click of a button, click of a mouse, and it's a simple process. At the same time, it's a huge thing that can be executed with a single button. It's a
I
very
like
complicated thing, I'd
I
say.
like the way you put it. It's a really difficult job to do when you think about it. It's really as simple as clicking the button and all of a
Yeah.
sudden you're doing the job. What are some of the products? Well, let me ask you this. You've been going for 8 months. How many products did you start with and has it transitioned to what you're focusing on now?
For the majority of time, I was focused on ES, and I would say maybe 6 months, for over 5 or 6 months, I was only focused on ES, but I got to a point that it was too bumpy and too volatile for me. I started after that. I tried Nasdaq, which, as we all know, Nasdaq is crazier than ES.
Yeah.
But nowadays, I'm focusing on silver and gold. It's again, it's volatile, but not as volatile as the equities and like Nasdaq or ES. It's a lot easier for me to trade. Even if I don't get a big chunk, still I get to make good money in a small trade.
Yeah, I like that. It's funny. A lot of times people will ask me they want to be in the equities, so the first thing that they want to do, they want to find something slower. And I would recommend, check out the ES. It's slower, but it's still, you're right. It's a volatile market, especially with what's been going on the last 7 months here around the world. It's been a volatile market. Gold, on the other hand, has always been that little bit slower, gives you a little more opportunity. And it's been reading really nice lately. So I've been a big fan of gold for a long time. And just like you, I'm kind of diving into silver a lot more here lately. Personally, I've really enjoyed silver.
I love silver a lot. Like now, my main focus is silver. It's
Okay.
great.
Awesome. So, when when you're getting into each and every day, what are some of the things around your rules that you're focusing on?
One thing that I'm glad I did is that I'm looking at a lot of time frames now. When I started, it was only 5 minutes and maybe 15 sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But now I look at as many as I can. Like I have 7 on each product at the moment. Like I have 5, 15, 30, 1 hour, 4 hours, and daily. And I have a tick chart just in case. In some cases, I use it, but I try to get confirmation on as many time frame as possible. And you can never be sure 100%, but I get the, I get the, like, when I see that, okay, it is possible, the opportunity is there, then I try to execute the trade. But at the same time, um, I try to focus on breakouts and support and resistance. That's the way I trade.
Okay, perfect. I think that's pretty great. And one thing I have noticed as I've gotten into this, getting as much confirmation kind of helps calm us down, create a little confidence when we're going into those trades. Are there any resources that you're using to help with your trading every day?
I would say mainly is YouTube. I have done some reading. I
Order
cannot say
filled.
enough. I love the material of Mark Douglas. It's helped me so much, so much. I I look at it religiously and I love it so much.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I try to look on YouTube and
Stop
as much as
filled.
material that I can read. Some of them are not my style, but I try to learn from them. Uh, but mainly it's been reading and YouTube.
Awesome. Yeah, I
And
think that's
and of course, top step has been like you and John. Whatever you said, I've got confirmation from like other sources that whatever you say, it's what have been being said for so many years, and it's just a great learning opportunity.
oh
Just
well.
watching
Order filled.
the recap and the morning session.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad we're helping you out there. That's kind of the goal. So, um, yeah, you said something really interesting there, and I
Target
want to
filled.
highlight it. Even if they're not the same style as you as a trader, I think we can take so much what we learn from other traders, even if we're not doing things just like them. If there's someone that's this super fast trader, they're in and out in 30 seconds, maybe that's your style, maybe that's not someone else's, but why they're executing and how they're looking at risks there, we can start to apply stuff like that to our own. It's just taking those
Absolutely.
little pieces. That's what I've done. I've worked with so many mentors over the years, and everyone's told me different things, and they're all very successful
Order
at what
filled.
they do, but to follow someone is really hard. But to take what they're
Stop
talking about,
filled.
apply it to our own strategies and systems is really, really a great thing. So to kind of keep moving here, I got a couple more questions for you. The first being, what are some of the things
Order
that you've
filled.
really focused on here as of late to get through this step 2 and into that funded account?
Stop filled. Order filled.
Um, the step 2, I would say, was myself,
Stop filled.
self-discipline, because I learned a lot of things from reading and the materials that are available online. But at the end, if I don't control myself, none of those would go through, like none of those would succeed. Um, I would,
Order
as I
filled.
said, I I used to make crazy mistakes like overtrade, or even I was watching and my hand was on the mouse and I would just click like just as a reflex, like crazy stuff. But I learned to control myself. I learned to sit on my hands. I learned to breathe and just
Order
focus and just
filled.
to be calm and watch what is happening. Look at the bigger picture, and just focus.
Target
Just to
filled.
discipline myself, not to
Absolutely.
do
Well,
crazy stuff.
you know, it's funny. We can sit here and it's very easy if we're not trading to look at things and go, oh, I like this. This is what I'm looking to execute at. And as soon as we start looking at the charts and we start watching the market, all of a sudden it becomes really tempting to just keep clicking execute, to buy or sell really, really quickly. We want to do it so fast. And it's a matter of calming ourselves down, like you said, focusing on ourselves, because a lot of us we put so much time into honing our strategies and our
Order
systems that if we're
filled.
not sticking to that and being disciplined to that, it's where we get a little wayward. um that's awesome. I really
Stop
like hearing
filled.
that. Now that you're in the funded account, this is one of my
Order
favorite things
filled.
to ask traders, because at the end of the day, we all get into this. Money's fun. Money's nice to make. What's the biggest dream or the goal, financially, that trading
Stop
can
filled.
provide for you?
Um, I would say buying a house in a nice place in cash and travel the world with my future bride
Oh,
to
that's
trade.
awesome.
Yeah,
That's
that's the goal.
I think that's a pretty great goal there. All right, so two last questions for you. Number one, there's a lot of traders out there that are working their way through the trading combine. We know, you know as well as anyone, it's not the easiest thing to get through. What would you say to someone out there that's working their way through the trading combine right now?
Two things. I read a code on Top Step website. There is a small code on top of the website, and it changes every day, I believe. Uh, One day it was trade like an athlete, which has helped me so much. Just thinking about it and analyzing what it really means. When we look at an athlete or a team, there is a lot that goes into in behind the scene or background that we don't see, and we just see the final product. If, in my opinion, if we want to be successful in trading, we need to train like an athlete. We need to train like crazy, as much as we can. Uh, the way that I used that code was, after the market, I would analyze the market. Like I would go back when the market is closed and see, okay, what would be a good opportunity for me, uh, if I had seen, from this angle, or if I had taken it, what would happen? Like, uh, just train ourselves, and just to look at the market, just to have as much as screen time and experience. And another thing I would say, which is a risk management, but putting stops. I see, when I watch online, or I hear from other people, um, they kind of don't believe in putting stops when they trade and say, no, it comes back, or I believe that it has to come back. Um, and we all know that it's never the case, and we cannot predict what the direction of the market is, or what happens in the trade that we're looking at. Putting stops. Um, there is another quote that I look at it religiously, and I have um, used it a lot. It's from Mark Douglas again. He said, um, determine your risk. It works or it doesn't, move to the next trade.
I
That's an
love that.
awesome quote that uh, I've gained a lot from, and it's helped me a lot. Just as long as the stuff is there, it works or it doesn't, and it helps us mentally as well. Like we don't go crazy that no, it must work. It's not a single trade; it's a series of trades that um, we are working on. I heard from you. I've heard from you. I've heard from John that you always say that it's not a trade that it's gonna make you or break you. Always trade for the future. So um,
Absolutely. Well, I
yeah,
think it all kind of comes together really nicely. Train like an athlete. If you think about it, they put in so much practice. They probably spend more time practicing than they do actually playing the real game. Um, and then it kind of comes full circle there. Either it works or it doesn't. If an athlete, if we're looking at football and he drops a pass in the end zone, he can't focus on that drop pass. He's just got to get there for the next play. If you just keep thinking, if you relish on the past, if you think about the past too much, it affects the outcome of the future. If you can put that behind you and just keep moving forward, and that's what trading's all about. We're going to take losses. They're inevitable. It's going to happen. No questions asked. We're going to lose money. Um,
absolutely.
and we have to accept that going into it. And if we can take those losses and just move to that next one without using those losses to affect our next trade, we can all be successful at this. All right, last question for you. How's your experience with Top Step been?
Seriously and honestly, it's a dream come true. A lot of people, me included, don't have the resources to start trading, don't have the money, don't have the capital, or there are some people that they don't want to risk their own capital to get into the market. Topstep provides not only provides the money, but I would say that is the only firm or company I've seen that genuinely wants you wants to see you succeed. I've had experience with other companies that the account manager would call me a few times a week just to upgrade my account and just to get money out of me. But Top Step really, really wants you to succeed. And there is love, there is passion that you can see in the coaches, in the company, in the people that run the company. And it's a really awesome place to be if you know that you want to trade, if you love to trade. That's a really great place. And I I cannot say enough. It's just been an awesome journey so far,
Awesome.
and
Well, we
looking
love to hear
forward to
that.
it.
And like I said, we're here. We are here. We want to see our traders succeed. That's huge to us. I mean, I don't know if you've seen, but we've already done over $1 million in withdrawals this year. I mean, that's what we're here for. We want to see traders making money. We want to help them get to that professionalizing their passion. So, Nick, I cannot thank you enough for sitting down with me. I know everybody that's going to watch this is going to love it. And we wish you the best in the funded account. And I can't wait to see your name on those withdrawals and moving forward. So thank you very much.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you so much.